Happy Sabbath.
Good morning and happy Sabbath, Countryside family. We are coming to you from the new outpost property here in Thailand. It's actually not in Bangkok. We're 90 minutes south of Bangkok in a province called Phetchaburi. I have to remember where we are. So Phetchaburi, and behind us is Khao Eco. This is a mountain that Brian used to lead outdoor climbing trips to, and he fell in love with this area, and just over a year ago we came out here and stopped and had lunch and dreamed about having a place out here, and there happened to be a sign that said for sale, and very long story, awesome story there, but we got this property within a year, about, was it 9 months of when we first found it? 10 months.
Close, yeah.
And we just found out on our last report from Jesus for Asia that the property is completely paid off. We had taken a loan to make the matching grant and get out here and get it paid for and start developing it, which came at perfect timing because COVID has finally arrived in Thailand, and in Bangkok specifically. They've had us locked down for the third time since April this year, and it's been a pretty rough lockdown, and it's not looking like it's going to lift anytime soon, but it's been a perfect opportunity to come out here and start the gardens, start the orchard, start building a home, and just trying to get this place prepared for what God has in store. Anything you want to add?
Yeah, there's a
lot going on.
A lot of development that was needed. We have to hide in the shade so that you can see us, I'm told. We tilled up one area to get prepared. We put some amendments on there. We had a soil sample sent off to Kinsey Ag to test our soil, and it came back the best one that the people who tested it had ever done from here in Thailand, but it still needed a few things, and so we got the amendments in there. We got it tilled in. We didn't have rain for a week. We tilled it in, and within a couple hours it started raining, so that was great. We've got a little bit of a garden going over there. We got some snap peas and some long beans, and you can see the bathtubs there is our vermicompost, worm compost farm. And then along over here, we started the orchard. We got 4 jackfruit trees in. Yesterday we planted 3 mulberry trees. We've got a lemon tree here and the 4th mulberry tree that needs to go in, but it started raining too much on me and I had to end. Yeah, off in the back we got a couple of coconut trees, and then we have 13 more that need to get planted. We've got 25 bananas off over in this section. And then we have these trees that are volunteers, and they're called Manila cherries. So they put out this little fruit that's red when you can eat it. There's a couple up there. Anyways, they're very nice. They're sweet, and they're volunteers. And we've got clusters of them all over the property, as well as some mango trees.
God provided this place at the perfect time because our kids were definitely getting old enough to need to be out in the country and have their hands in the dirt and just get out of that city. And Brian noticed on the outdoor climbing trips that that's when he really connected with people, and you know, the conversations about God just opened up really naturally. And so our dream was to have this place be like a climbing camp, to build some bungalows over here in this area, maybe a big kitchen kind of restaurant people can eat at, and then also go climbing. You can see right up there where we could do some bolts and some climbing, and it would be a really nice close location, and people could stay here and we could connect with them. So we'll see.
There's monkeys fighting off there in the trees. You can hear it. Anyways, sorry.
So that's the dream for the rest of the properties, to set that up, and more gardens and nice place to roam through. Maybe it'll be some kind of health retreat resort. If you have followed us for the past 7 years, you'll see that we don't always know where God is going to have us in the next year or two. We just take one step of faith each time, and we knew we needed a house set up and a shop and the gardens going, and so as God leads, we'll set up more. But food shortages are coming to Thailand.
Right now there's already shortages, and there's people that are dying in certain cities for lack of food, and people just homeless and without anything because of the lockdowns. You know, the US was giving out, you know, stimulus checks. The stimulus checks here amounted to roughly $100 US, which obviously goes a lot farther than it would in the States, but it doesn't even cover a month's worth of living. And that's all they've given. They've given that out once over the last 18 months. And we've been locked down well over 7 months out of the last 18, with which most businesses haven't never recovered. A majority of the economy was based on tourism. And so when the country closed, and it's still closed, basically shut down a huge amount of the sector. But yeah, so as we've been developing and trying to process through, God seems to keep sending us people who are of a troubled past, troubled history, which we could relate to. We have a current ex-con who came to join us. He's been with us for just over 2 months. We're trying to help guide and instruct and give him work, teach him some practical things, as well as another guy who's in a van right now and will be arriving this evening, who's looking for help to get off alcohol and smoking.
He was raised in a Christian Seventh-day Adventist home, so we're excited to have him come on board too another time in.
So we have a few people that are interested in that, and other people that are wanting to have somewhere to send people. So we're trying to see just how God is leading. As far as some of the development, we'll see if we can show you. Well, there's cloud cover. Can we see through the tree? Sorry. This is what our accommodations have been. Where are we? Right here. There. Bamboo huts. We got 2 of them. This is what we were living in. There's a bamboo bathroom on the other side there. But there's Prudence on the front porch yelling. This is the house. We were blessed to have a few missionary friends from up north come down and help us to build the roof and get the foundation and everything going. And then we hired out the block work to some local people because they do it a lot better than we do. We've got a shop over here somewhere, I can't really see. Yeah, so that we can have a place to store tools and the tractor and such. Right now it's going to act as a house for the guy that's arriving today. We've got the pond. Should we show him the pond?
Sure.
Over here is a burn pile that we've been accumulating for the last couple weeks, well, a couple months actually. And tomorrow is Joseph's birthday.
Somebody might ask how big the property is. It's just under 5 acres.
Yeah, just under 5 acres. Joseph's birthday is tomorrow, so we're gonna torch up that thing because he loves fire and fireworks. So,
Okay,
you want to come, baby? You want to say hi to Countryside?
Say hi,
Say hi.
Countryside.
Say hi, Countryside. Okay. Rah! Okay.
I'm coming.
Oh, you want Mom?
You want Mom?
Okay.
Okay, baby.
All right. Sorry, we're trying to make this quick, but things are kind of wet and sloppy. It's rainy season right now. So we had this low area in the back of the property that continued to flood, and so we tried to figure out what to do with it. We decided, and by God's grace we had the funds for it, to dig a pond for water retention, as well as in the hot season somewhere to swim. So it's 20 meters by 20 meters, which is like 65 feet square, and then it's 4 meters deep, which it's filled up quite quickly this rainy season. The locals were actually kind of surprised. And then we put the soil from it, what we didn't use, up here on the pad. It's all hard clay, and that's where we'll put the solar system. So we'll settle that up.
Greenhouses.
And so, Prudy, be careful. She's right on the edge, honey.
No, she's okay. She's right off.
We gonna finish this then?
Sure, you want me to chase her?
Okay. I don't know. Prudy.
Prudy's running away. Prudy's running away. She always walks there. She's fine. Anyway, well, I think that's an update of what we're doing here, but can we just take another moment to look at that beautiful mountain? Oh, it's so gorgeous out here. Anyways, it's been just a breath of fresh air to us after being in that city for 7 years. So we actually purchased this property exactly 7 years to the date of when we first arrived in Thailand. Hard to believe we've been here this long, but just keep going. This is the next stage. So
If you guys would join us in prayer we're really grateful for all the support that we've had. And just as we, as we move forward and trying to figure out how to develop what we're doing here, and
bye-bye.
just being able to use it as a blessing for God's kingdom, especially as the work in Bangkok is put on hold or stopped. As we mentioned, the food shortages, we're trying to grow out a lot of stuff out here so that we can support people. We've been trying to buy food for people, but when there's 250 families in a village that are asking for food, it'd be a lot better if we could grow it and provide it. But also being able to provide housing for people, because there's so many that are homeless right now. So we're looking at hopefully trying to build some kind of a dorm type structure. We have a bathroom setup started, and we'll get that ready to have 6 toilets, 6 showers. But just being able to provide facilities for people that are in need right now. You know, personally feel like we're getting close to the time of the end, and there's a lot of people in these giant cities, excuse me, that have nowhere to go. And so, yeah, if you guys would just join us in prayer and being able to be his hands and feet here. So,
right.
Purdy, you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Have a good Sabbath. God bless.
Red button.
Red button, baby.